Hello, this is John from FitKit Systems. We're about to launch our new version 3 of FitKit Studio, and I wanted to give you an orientation to the changes that are involved in that. Most of the changes are in the back end and you'll be unaware of, but there's a number of design changes in the user interface that I'd like to get you familiar with. Also some additional features as well. So a little new login page, but essentially you'll log in with your usual credentials. And once you do that, there's a new dashboard page here. There's a new menu bar across the top. We'll come back and look at these in some detail. And the default is to the subscriber version of QuickFit. We've got the free quick size version hidden away, and I'll circle back to that. Down here we've got a new message banner, and so if we have a little update or something to communicate to you, we'll be able to just give a quick message update here in this banner. So on this new homepage we've got a number of different panels in here. The first section up here are pre-fit interviews, if they have been filled in and are waiting in line. So if you have clients who've done an intake form, they're going to show up here. If there's more than what shows up, there'll be a next button, and so it's saying we've got actually 11 of them right here. So it'll show you how many there are in total, and you'll be able to tag through to find them. You know, as per the older version, you can either create a new customer from the interview form or add them to an existing customer. If you need someone to do an interview form when they come in, then we've got quick links here right at the bottom. All of these actually go to the same place. So if you click on one of these, it's going to open up the intake form, which in your account management settings you can customize at least the top part for your own use. Previously, in the older version here, you had to go into My Account and pre-fit interview information to find that. Just lost beta, so we're going to get back into this one. So back into the dashboard here. If you've had a recent customer come in, you can find them right here. If you want to add a new customer manually, you can do that by clicking on this box and type in their information and save them as a customer. So that's if they have not done a pre-fit interview that you're creating a customer from. If you're looking to retrieve an existing customer, again, most recent ones will show up here. So you'll find the most recent 6 customers. And then instead of over here in the old version of looking for an existing customer here, in the new version we're just clicking on Retrieve Customer from this little menu at the top of QuickFit. It'll give you a list of more recent ones, or you can search by, search by a name, provided you've spelled it right, and then find a person that way as well. So here you'll see some significant changes to the user interface of the layout. We've got a little customer summary across here in terms of contact details, and then instead of let's find the same person over here in the older version. So here we had a number of tabs across the top, and then things divided into different sections. Here are the bikes down here. In the new version, what we've got is a vertical menu profile. So we'll see a summary of the customer, including their bikes, their contact details. If you've got confidential notes on them, it'll appear here. If you've got any pre-fit interviews assigned to them, they'll show up in here. If you've taken FitKit body measurements, they'll be here, and the related physical considerations or soft score. If we have a sizing recommendation report we want to do, that will go here, and any notes for that report will end up going in here. And then their list of bikes will show up right here. If we are in a bike, again there's a new menu down the left where we can see both that bike equipment, the fit position, any notes about the shoes, anything we want to share in the bike fit report, anything we want to keep confidential, history of changes to the bike, and then just back to the summary for that customer. We can also then toggle between bikes if we wanted to reference their different bikes. So we might be within a particular bike here looking at the equipment and want to see, well, what equipment was on their previous road bike or their other road bike, and so we can compare and contrast both in terms of equipment and fit position here. So we're able to go between two different bikes and the related equipment or fit position quite easily here with this. If you want to print a report for the bike, then you can just do that over here, and that will generate a PDF. You can open that PDF to save it. And to send that out. So here we've got our PDF report. Okay, I'm just going to come back to the main dashboard, quick fit up the top again. Something that I wanted to mention here with the pre-fit interviews is that we now have the ability to send an email to somebody straight out of here. So if you have their email address, you can click on this link here and that will fire up an email along with a link to that pre-fit interview questionnaire. And you can obviously add some additional personal notes there, and you just need to add their email address. So that's an add-on feature we've got right there. Okay, let's come back up to this top menu. So if we come back to the main quick fit, the toolbox, this is a whole new section. Within toolbox there are both tools and resources, and you can toggle between those over here. Within the tool section we have a number of calculators, including the quick size, basic, quick fit calculator, where you can edit foot length, inseam, torso, arm, some additional body measurements, and apply some additional considerations. Nothing is saved there, and this is the free non-subscriber version of just doing the FitKit calculations. What's particularly new are a couple of XY conversion calculators, so handlebar to frame, reach and stack, and so one can input a HX HY measurement, specify a cockpit, and this will output then a suggested frame, reach and stack. We also have one that goes in reverse direction, so if you have a known frame, reach and stack, you can input that, prescribe a cockpit, and that will give you the handlebar X and Y specifications. So hoping you'll find these two tools super useful. The additional one is a stem delta calculator, and so here we have the option to put in stem 1 and then compare that to a different stem and see what changes. So if we put in a head tube angle or stem length, and let's say we want to keep it as a -17, we'll be able to see what the change is in terms of length here. Let's see, what else have we got up in here? Under resources, this is something we're going to gradually build out, and if you have suggestions, they're welcome. But currently we've got an education tab which links through to our own online courses, as well as information from the International Bike Fitting Institute. We also have some direct outbound links to a couple of very useful to bike fitter frame geometry databases. This is going to be progressively built out with more. If you've got some ideas for us on those, you can use this feedback form up here. And this feedback form is actually for any suggestions on improvements to FitKit Studio. So suggestions, report bugs or other feedback, you can add that in there. If you need more immediate response, use the contact us form instead, which will come into our email versus just living within the FitKit Studio environs. So we've got that there as well. Some additional changes under my account. Firstly, there's the main page, and then there's a series of settings. On the dashboard page, you will see what your subscription level is, when your renewal date is, how your shop or studio information set up. You've also got those interview links here. And then over here you've got your preferences, and there's additional settings and options preferences for you here now. So if you enter the settings menu item and go to preferences, so again a vertical menu on the left, and we go into edit, here you can choose the type of measurement unit that you're using, and also the report format. If you're outside of the USA, you'll want to use A4. If you're in the US, you'll probably use US letter. And the ability to customize what shows up in the report fields. So for example, if you're not using the FitKit tools, then you probably don't want a whole series of blank measurements to show up. And the same with the physical profile. If you're not wanting the sizing recommendations to show up, you can uncheck that. And so you can sort of customize what actually shows up on the reports. We do now have the information, which we did not previously, to add in the shoe and cleat information as well, so that can be added or subtracted from the report. In addition, and by request, there's the ability to customize some of the colouring in the report. So instead of the default FitKit orange, you can change a colour appropriate to your own branding, and if one of those simple options doesn't appeal, you can enter your own hex colour code number down here and get a fully custom colour that will show up in the report headings. So I'm going to cancel out of that. Down here you can edit the sort of information that shows up for your studio, so you can decide what sort of address information and how that's displayed, and you can also check your subscription status and credit card payment details down here. So that's really a quick tour through what's going on with it. Mostly a little user interface layout change. I think you'll get used to it pretty quickly. I'll be doing some more detailed orientation videos on all the new features for people new to this coming up, but this should get you going in terms of when we migrate over from version 2 as such to this new version 3 right here. Thanks for being a subscriber to FitKit Studio. As always, your ideas for future product improvements are welcome, and thanks for looking.